Alrighty, we are talking about slope, and again, it's going to be the steepness of the line, but in this case, we're going to be looking at it in terms of this equation. So let's talk about the slope equation. This is one to memorize. Okay, so again, I would write this down, have it handy, maybe have it right next to your slope guy. So the slope equation is y equals mx plus b. And each one of these has a specific meaning, so let's make sure we know that. X and Y are the coordinates on the graph. So when we're making a coordinate plane, right, and we have a point, this would be X is 0 and Y would be, let's say, 2. Okay, this is X, this is Y. So when we're dealing with X and Y here, that's the X and Y coming from the points that are on the actual line. Okay, the M is your slope. Now, a lot of times when I ask people, like, what's the slope on this equation? Their answer is negative 5x. No, 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 no. Okay, it's not 5x. It is just negative 5. Because again, the x and the y come from here. It's the points on the line. Okay, so when you're asked to find the slope, it's simply the number in front of the x. It's just the m. Okay, and I call that the movement, right? It's the steepness of the line, it's the movement. So in this case, our slope is negative 5. So let's go back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'd be going down 5 over 1, right? That's the movement. It's my steepness of the line. So my line would go this direction because, again, our slope guy tells us downward is negative, upward is positive, right? So it's going down 5 over 1 because all whole numbers are over 1. And then this, we're not talking about this just yet, but I'm going to go ahead and give you this information. This is your beginning. So we usually talk about the origin as being the beginning, right? But in this case, we're talking about the slope equation. So we're talking about the equation of this particular line. So where it crosses the y-axis, that is where we began to find our slope, right? So always find your beginning point on your y-axis to find your slope, and that is also giving you the y-intercept. Okay, so I call it the beginning just to kind of help me move through things. So beginning, aka y-intercept. So what we're going to end up being able to do is we're going to end up being able to take this graph or this equation, give it a graph, and know, okay, I'm going to start here at 2 on the y-intercept, and then from there, I'm going to go down 5 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1, and this is going to create my line. So it's pretty neat that we can go from this equation and give it a visual, okay? But again, we're not there yet. That's where we're going. Right now, what you need to know are the pieces that I'm going to change into red. You need to know the slope is the movement, and it's just the m. It's just the number in front of the x. And then we'll get to the other stuff later. Okay, so let's look at the problems. This one says, what is the rate of change of the following equation? Again, make sure you know rate of change is the same as slope. Okay, so all we're going to do here is type in negative 5 because it is the number in front of the x. It's that simple. Okay, don't get it twisted. People come in here and they make this a whole lot harder than what it is. Okay, so I'm going to erase all of this because we're going to get to all this another time. I just wanted to give you that information ahead of time. But really what you need to know is that part right there in red. Okay, so let's look at the next question. Oh, I gave it to us already. So if you notice, the only thing that changed here was the b, but my slope is still the number in front of x, which is simply negative 5. Oops, I hit negative, negative. There we go. And then in this case, it can be a fraction as well, right? So it's just the number in front of the x. It's the fraction in front of the x. So to type in your fraction, you're going to have to hit this button right here. Oh no, not that one. Where is it? Oh, not that. Well, oh yeah, it is that button. My good. And then it's y over x right there. So we're just going to type in 4 over 3. 3, or you can type it in and use the division sign on your keyboard, and it'll give you the same thing. Okay. They really like -5 on this answer, evidently. So again, the number in front of x is -5. And then again, this one gives you the fraction, and it's just the 3/2. So I want to show you what that looks like. So again, this is our beginning point. So I'm going to come down here to -2 on the y-axis. So I go from my origin to where I'm going to begin. And then my slope is 3/2. Notice it's positive. And again, we know our slope guy tells us that this is going to be positive going upward. So I'm going to go up 3/2, literally what that fraction tells me. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And that's what we're going to be leading to, where we can graph these equations. Okay. So pretty simple if you already kind of get it. But again, right now, all you need to know is go hit this x squared button, hit the fraction button right here, the y over x, and type in 3/2. That is our slope. Okay. So if you need any more help, let me know. But slope is literally, when it's in this function or in this equation, it's the number in front of the x. That is your slope. If you need more help, schedule a one-on-one. Other than that, 10 points. Get